One of the most common concerns people have when starting creatine supplementation is the issue of water retention, often described as creatine bloat. This side effect is frequently misunderstood, exaggerated in online forums, and sometimes cited as a reason to avoid creatine altogether. But when we look closely at the science, we see that while creatine may indeed cause some water retention in the early stages of supplementation, it's typically temporary, manageable, and far outweighed by the well-documented benefits creatine offers for physical performance, cognitive function, and long-term health. Creatine works by increasing phosphocreatine stores in muscles, which enhances the body's ability to rapidly regenerate ADP, the energy currency your cells use during physical and mental exertion. But in order to store more creatine, muscle cells also pull in additional water. This is a natural and expected response. Creatine is osmotically active, meaning it draws water into the muscle to maintain balance. For most people, this results in a slight increase in intracellular water, not subcutaneous water, which would make you look puffy or bloated on the surface. In fact, the water retained in muscle tissue can make muscles look fuller, not puffier, and helps improve hydration inside cells, which supports protein synthesis and recovery. However, in some cases, especially when people begin creatine with a high loading dose of 20 grams per day, there can be a more noticeable shift in water balance. This may result in a slight increase in body weight, usually around 1 to 3 pounds, and in some individuals, a subjective feeling of bloating. But it's important to understand that this isn't fat gain, nor is it dangerous. The body is simply adjusting to higher creatine concentrations, and the initial water retention usually levels out within a few days to a week. For those who are sensitive to water retention or simply want to avoid the sensation of bloat altogether, there are clear strategies to minimize this effect. The most effective is to skip the loading phase and begin with a low, consistent dose, typically 3 to 5 grams per day. This slower approach allows your muscles to gradually saturate with creatine over several weeks, reducing the likelihood of sudden shifts in water content and minimizing gastrointestinal discomfort, which can sometimes accompany high initial doses. Staying well hydrated is also essential, as dehydration can exacerbate any feeling of fluid imbalance or stomach cramping during early supplementation. It's also worth noting that the concern about bloating tends to be more aesthetic than functional. For athletes or individuals training for performance, the benefits of creatine, faster recovery, greater strength, improved high-intensity output, and even cognitive resilience far outweigh a slight and temporary fluctuation in water weight. For older adults or people focused on aging well, creatine supports muscle preservation, bone density, and brain energy metabolism, making a small increase in water retention a minor and manageable trade-off. That said, it's always important to listen to your body. If bloating is accompanied by persistent discomfort, gastrointestinal distress, or unexplained swelling, it may be wise to reduce your dose temporarily, increase fluid intake, or speak with a healthcare provider. In rare cases, the sensation of bloating may be related to other digestive sensitivities rather than the creatine itself. In summary, creatine bloat is real for some, but it's not harmful, and in most cases, it's easily prevented or minimized. With smart dosing and adequate hydration, most people will experience little to no discomfort. More importantly, the benefits of creatine, especially for muscle strength, energy metabolism, and cognitive support, make it a supplement well worth considering, even if you have to adjust your routine slightly at the beginning. Don't let myths about bloating prevent you from experiencing one of the most research-backed, safe, and effective supplements available today.